What are your thoughts on the lineups?
Usually I like 9Pandas draft, and they always play with like a lot of tempo, which you see again with the 9 Stalkers, like a hero that overwhelms you. But I think Silencer and Timber, I mean, they kind of share that, but not the same amount of oomph that you usually have. They have like an Undying Eng5 or like an offlane Lycan, so they still have this tempo they usually have, but I'm kind of in agreement with the panel. I think this BB team draft is pretty damn solid here.
But they have to get through a lot of heft on the 9Pandas side. You got some big, juicy boys.
Oh, yeah.
And then Wind Ranger and Silencer on top. As the runes come out.
Really now? You should.
And it looks like it's going to be a split.
Victory.
Easy for safe flood with the blinding light. As you know, 9Pandas should be pretty happy with their offlane dual lane. Sure, I would say that BB will kind of free farm there with their Monkey King, but Antara is on his pause for Doom. He's gonna be pretty free to kind of do whatever he wants, and this mid matchup between Kiyotaka and GPK, as it usually is with the mids, it is incredibly important to kind of push your draft forward for both of these teams.
Yeah, like the panel talked about, Kiyotaka has played the crap out of this hero in the Wind Ranger. I feel like when we've seen, maybe it's a small sample size, but I feel like the Wind Rangers in general feel slightly underwhelming.
I agree.
Kiyotaka's hands, it is kind of the opposite story. It just goes to show how good he is on that hero, as we see Nightfall getting pressured a bit. But yeah, talk to me about, well, we'll get to this mid lane in just a moment. Just assume that GPK will not die. Talk to me about Night Stalker. Ramsey's playing that position 1. It's only been played once in this tournament. This hero has kind of just been deleted ever since they, what was it that they changed? It was they changed the Aghanim Scepter so that it's targetable.
I mean,
we haven't really seen anybody build that even when he was big.
Yeah, I mean, even when you like play this guy carry, I don't think you generally want to go for Ags unless it's like super good in the game. I think it's just a lot of things. As Pure's taking a lot of damage. Like, I think Night Stalker is fairly underrated. Like, this is a type of hero, if you just have a draft that can go in and you can fit a Night Stalker in there, even if you don't have the best matchups, he has a lot of like overwhelming potential where sure, even if you play against the TV, which is like one of the worst matchups, if you can just own the mid game, which this hero can do, and that's always how 9Pandas play, it just really fits their playstyle. Similarly with Jug. Ramses has played like 11 games of Juggernaut alone in this tournament, which is like an absurd number.
Well, are you afraid of the scaling aspect in this game? Because Night Stalker, at least traditionally, falls off really hard at a certain point.
Like, they have a bit more of a, I would say they have more of a timing team fight, whereas BB, they can take more like prolonged fights. So how Night Stalker always works, you need to cast your ult, they're gonna cast Global, hope to get on these backline supports or maybe the Storm and get the fight going that way. Like, that is the main reason why Ramses wanted his hands on the little Nightman, the Night Bat.
See how that works out. I mean, like I said, these teams have played a lot against each other, and Boom Boom team, of course, they have had a lot of success at this tournament. They've only lost 2 games in the group stage.
Yep.
And they've been on fire basically the entire year. I mean, it feels like most of their losses are forfeit losses after Pure does something really stupid. But they have been kind of, other than Gaming Gladiators, I feel like they and Team Liquid have been like the top 3 teams of the entire DPC.
These players, in terms of their raw skill, they're disgusting. Like, seriously, even if you play pubs against them, like, you don't even need to be a pro player. If you just play against them in pubs, you know how good they are, and they just kind of smack you out of the game and show you like, yeah, okay, you know, I see why they're so good. But they lost to Secret, who played with a lot of tempo, and I feel like 9Pandas are the closest high tempo to what I've seen from those games where, you know, they did lose.
Yeah, that is the random thing, right? There are only 2 losses, or no offense to Secret, of course, but they are in the lower bracket right now, and they've smashed everybody else.
That's Miro
getting chased out by Nightfall. And the chase continues. Boundless Strike is there. He pops the wand, but it's not going to be enough. Purifying Flames from Toronto, Tokyo. And BBT will be able to take first blood for themselves.
Good old Toronto Tokyo does get himself the first blood there against Miro, so putting B-Boom in a good position here in the early game. I'm gonna be happy with how the laning stage is going so far. As the 20th lane is getting the creeps delayed, so that when Miro comes back, he'll have that. So GPK was actually forced back to base, huh? Because he just TP back to mid, or did I miss something?
Not sure, but
my boy Kiyotaka.
That's true. I mean, mid lane's still very even though overall.
Yep.
Basically the same CS for both sides. And of course, we have to keep in mind with that 6-minute power rune to come. Who will get that could be the big turning point in the mid lane. But I mean, in terms of like the supports that both sides have, do you think we're going to be seeing a lot of rotations? Because like the Oracle Con, it's like, eh.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, it doesn't matter what solo plays.
That's
He's gonna go bottom.
Well, but he has blood grenade.
He's gonna pop his blood grenade and gank down there. Generally, he has more like crazy heroes to kind of do it, right? With the Eng and Undying and Clockwork, and you just like tower dive their asses. But the problem is, leaving this Night Stalker against DK is like not really amazing. Night Stalker generally wants to like force people out of the lane in the nighttime, but Pure, I don't think he's gonna give a shit if Ramsey just hits him in this lane.
Yeah.
He's just gonna regen all the way through it.
Indeed.
Ooh, and Nightfall getting some dirty denies down bottom. 12 already.
Yeah, that's quite a bit for that safe lane for sure. And I mean, okay, let's again back to the blue boy, Mr. Ramses.
Back to the Smurf.
Yep. What is the power spike for this hero? Like, are you just looking for... I understand why they picked it because of the fast tempo and against the Storm Spirit. I assume you're going to want Blink Dagger at some point. It's like Blink Dagger, BKB, something like that. GPK, yeah. He's getting chased. Antares and Kiyotaka will claim him eventually. It's going to go to Antares here.
Like that move from Antares, of course. He's being freed up as Mira has a good lane, but to go back to Batman here, being played by Ramses, the hero has a lot of... I wouldn't say you have... Sure, you have some item times with like BKB Blink, but this hero has a lot to do whenever you have ult and you can set your team up with like a nice rotation. This hero has a lot to do with his vision. So generally, getting level 6, getting level 7, you pop your ult and you go back to farming. So it's like a very nice back and forth. But in this game, I don't actually know what he usually builds. Like maybe it's a Midas, maybe it's some Armlet, Echo Saber. I'm not really sure. As Toronto, Tokyo.
Yep, he's taking a focus fire from Kiyotaka. There's with that shield rune there as well. TP's coming in. It's going to get canceled, which could leave GPK in the open, potentially for the taking, but of course GPK not quite level 6 yet, so this is still an opportunity for 9Pandas to try to take him out. And Teres trying to force him out, but GPK, how many creeps away is he? Literally one creep from 6, so now it's going to be a lot more difficult.
But still a lot of pressure in this mid lane. But we do see Ramsey. I mean, Ramsey's network is very good. If you're going even with Night Stalker in the daytime, you're definitely very happy. So him being on top of the board, paired up with Kiyotaka, I think, you know, they're doing pretty well. Miro's going to have to do a lot of body blocking or slapping to force Toronto Tokyo away from the rune.
Yep, the chase is on for this Wisdom Rune.
Get the hell out of here.
He's double teamed. No deny for you. So 9Pandas will be able to get their own Wisdom Room in the end, and Save will get the one for B Square team.
B Square team with a 1-for-1 split as the game slowing down a little bit, but Kiyotaka, he's running up top, out for blood, but TBB have a very nice ward here in the river, as actually both teams have the same ward, so they do scout Kiyotaka moving up top. They're just gonna chill. And this first dragon form, I would say for them, is gonna be very important. Maybe you can pressure up top, force people away from mid, help Kiyotaka, or rather help GPK get the 8-minute active rune.
Yeah, Ramsey's trying to abuse the fact that Pure went 3 in Breathe Fire, by the way, and only 1 in the Dragon's Blood.
Block grenade.
Yeah, will miss from solo, just needs a few more tries. I'm sure he'll be continuing to buy them out of stock for the rest of the tournament.
Oh, he will. No one buy blood grenades if you have solo on your team.
Need to do the math on how much HP he's lost total. It's actually pretty easy to find out, I suppose.
For like 10,000. As Kiyotaka going a little deep, but this guy has no fear. I think the panel touched on, you know, these young kids. I don't know how old this guy like just turned 18 or something. I don't know if he's allowed to be here, but he's just owning everyone.
And GPK gonna get some help from Save to be able to finish off this stack, and he's now level 7. Has the Falcon Blade waiting at the base, so we'll go pick it up. And in terms of like the nighttime meta, not meta, that's not even the right word for it. We'll just use it.
Batman ult?
Like when you're playing Night Stalker, let's forget about the ult for a moment. Is it like a time of, like in terms of the clock that you're interested in? Is it just an item-based thing and you just have to base it around that?
Yeah, it's not like the same as it used to be.
Because like, those old days were
9:59.
It really was like that. Yeah. Kiyotaka getting initiated on by GPK. There as well with a nice Fortune's End. GPK running out of mana though, so Kiyotaka will be able to outrun the damage.
The classic haste rune with the threads and double crown on Windranger. But yeah, it's more like you feel where kind of the lane is, how does the map look. Whenever you see a good play, you just kind of take it. I don't think it's super necessarily around, you know, what's the clock. As I do think Ramses is queuing up the Midas. I like that. I think you just get yourself the scaling. you get those levels going. As for now, they've done a very good job in their safe lane against this pure Dragon Knight. I thought the safe lane tower would take more pressure, because Nightstalker, he needs to lane in his own lane. Like, he wants to stay here, get all these levels, get gold, and when eventually you get forced out, then you make a move.
Yeah. And Ramses right now, I was going to say probably going to be going for the Midas, and yep, that's exactly what he's opting for. Pressuring Pure again out of the lane. I do wonder if he's going to go for Shard early on. That's something that people used to get along with the Midas. It's kind of like having a double Midas in some respects, to be able to just kill these things constantly. Plus being able to do that in the middle of a fight, potentially, to gain a lot of HP.
He's at least going to have to go at least one item in between. Like, Shard is a nice item if you play against, I don't know, some summons, Beastmaster, Lycan. You eat the big creep, you get bonus gold, and like you said, you regen like during the fight. But I think when you have Global in your team and your own silence, you want to go some more aggressive items, as there's a DD rune. Solo's going to snag that.
Yep, Solo will pay the price, but well worth it. Having that on GPK would have been pretty scary.
Now he can instantly bring blood grenades into the next fight.
Yep, that's his reward.
As Ramses, it's 10-20. Quick, use your ult. It's time to go somewhere. Midas is coming though for him. So we'll see what the first little Batman ult will be used.
Yeah, if memory holds, it's the old build at least is Midas into Blink BKB. And the Crippling Fear obviously is the big thing against
I like this move though.
Miero.
He's gating to bottom.
Yep, he's coming.
Nightfall.
Pops that ult. Ramses right on top of Nightfall. Miero takes the kill. Nice first ult coming out from Ramses. They're gonna possibly take this tier 1 as well as the fortification comes out though.
Yeah, I think so. This ice armor too on Terry is very important. No.
He's taking a ton of damage.
Go global.
But the global comes out. Trying to walk it off is the silence.
Oh, there's the silence.
You can see the crippling fear keeping GPK in place. Cannot use that ultimate at all. Toronto Tokyo looks to be next, as just in time as Ramses' ult runs out. So now he's back to being a completely worthless hero. Ends up being a 2-for-1 as a pause comes out.
Ramses, that's just your hero. You're not lagging. You just had 100 move speed there. Right?
Yeah, the solar bind there is pretty rough stuff.
As this is perfect thing to do when you do play Mr. Batman. You use your ult, you maybe get 1 kill. I think they even got like 2 or 3 in this scenario. You use your Midas, and now you go back to farming. Hopefully you get to dodge and evade all the ganks, and the closer you get to your next ult, you do it again. So it's like a very nice back and forth. But big fan of this 9-Panda move here down bottom. Whereas BB team try to hold their tier 1 tower. They will be successful.
And Pure gets his Midas not too long
Counter
after,
Midas.
yeah, knowing that Ramses is going to get his, but so now playing the mid laner will be pressuring the mid tower. So
he did some very good stuff, right? He got the top tier 1 tower to a long zip from GPK.
Yeah,
really
he's going to use almost all his mana. Shackle will not connect. GPK though will have to use the rest to try and get away, but like the panel talked about, the mana battery in the form of the old man on the horse will be there. Give him a little bit extra, but yeah, the Arcane Rune's going to be a pretty juicy pickup.
Arcane Rune is very nice here, as looks like Safe is queuing up for a Vessel. I think it is a very good Vessel game, but also I'm kind of looking at 4 staffs against this dire lineup, right? You're playing into Global Silence, you're playing into Night Stalker Silence and Doom, so 4 staffs very good. As it looks like we have a dire advantage on the Bounty Runes, as somehow a lot of games have this.
Yep, a lot more active so far in this game, it seems.
Another 3-man smoke, as the Global is still down, so this is definitely a good time for Team Boom Boom to try and look for a play.
Tower is under attack.
Yeah, and I mean, one combo we didn't really talk about is the Fortune's End on Storm.
Yeah.
If they want to actually try to set that up, but Miero's who they have their sights set on, and that's going to be an easy pickup, and Nightfall comes in for the casual boundless strike, and then back to farming he goes. He has an Echo Saber, so not going for the Battle Fury build this time, into the Maelstrom afterwards.
I kind of like this Echo Maelstrom build more here from Nightfall. I would say most of your heroes want to like play around this mid-game timing, and you have 3 heroes who scale incredibly well, so building items that allow you to fight back later when 9Pandas just will run at you, I would say is very good for them. As Pure mentioned, he has his own Midas, so he's going to be scaling incredibly well as well in this game.
And that's the way he likes to play, doesn't matter.
Well, he sees Ramses by a Midas, he's like, I want that too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, Batman ult.
Yep, they're going to try to contest.
Nightfall looking for the Wukong's.
Gets off the Wukong's command just in time. The Crippling Fear a little bit too late. Big zip from GPK, so he's already at half mana capacity. Wukong's command doesn't really
They need to stay together.
In the end, the Shackle shot is there. Ramses goes up to the top and takes out Toronto Tokyo. The Doom applied
Everyone
to
has to
GPK as well.
disengage.
And you can see Ramsey's trying to find other people because they know that this likely will be a kill onto the Storm Spirit. And Kiyotaka is just barely able to finish him off. Double kill for him. 3 kills overall as 9Pandas is looking very good in the early game.
Ooh, that is incredible what they did there. It was great from Nightfall to pop his ult and like kind of force Solo to cancel his TP and hold the ground. But the moment they kind of just dodged Toronto Tokyo there to just be shackled and killed from full... Like, you're not running away from this 9Pandas draft. You're either fighting back or you're all going to die.
Yeah. The fact that they were next to the old Roche, were they actually thinking about taking that?
I feel like I don't know, maybe they were community farming. I don't know what's going on.
Possible. Actually, it was daytime still. So it's actually on the opposite side of the map. Because it does not go back and forth whenever Night Stalker ults. That would be a hilarious mechanic.
Actually, that would be. The same with like Phoenix Eggs, who just run back and forth. But I think Kiyotaka, he waits with the last hit. He's like, this is my kill, I wait, there you go.
Yep, easy peasy.
Easy for him, as that's just, this is cookie cutter play how you want to play like Night Stalker drafts. You try to overwhelm them with your ult, get them killed towards the end, you back off farm, it's nighttime, so you have ult again, and you go again.
Dire's middle tower
And like we talked about, BB team have been the team of the last month, I want to say, outside of Gaming Gladiators, and the team that knows them the best is probably 9Pandas. Yep, I would say. They played them so many times, and they're showing it here, showing absolutely no fear as Solo. Well, he's going to get spotted.
Pop your block grenade.
Is there.
Do it.
Trying to deny himself to the Ancients, but Save will claim him.
Good try there. As so Ramsey's he has a Midas BKB coming, I think, minute 15, or I don't know if he still needs the recipe or what it is, but as here Ramsey's after farming tries to go to bottom, but GPK doesn't want to. He's dying in real time.
Man, Ramsey's trying to get out of dodge with that crippling fear. False promise is there for GPK, zipping on out. Is he actually going to be able to live through it all? It's going to be close into the fountain. He goes, will live. Meanwhile, Antares starting to clean up. Toronto Tokyo is the first to fall, and Save is next. So both supports for 2 square B team.
Hey, honest, 9Pandas movement is pretty damn sick. I mean, we didn't quite see the initiation there from Boom Boom, but they just kind of fight back on 9Pandas. Ramses gets to use his Batman ult once again. They just fight back, even with this high ground ward that I believe, yeah, belongs to Team 2B. They're in the triangle, also lane ward bottom, but still, just losing all of these engagements into the Night Stalker.
Yeah, and the fact that 9Pandas don't even have the items that they, I feel like, are the power spike.
Yeah, there's big ones coming up.
Yeah, BKB soon for Ramses. He's like 300 away from actually finishing it.
I mean, even Miero, like just with some casual item like Kaya-san, she's just going to be tanky enough to battle through. You have a Glimmer K plus Blink soon on Antares. You have this BKB on Ramses that we touched on, and soon the Gleipnir as well on Kiyotaka. So you're down 4K and losing these fights, and I think it's only going to get harder for you.
But one thing that BB team have shown throughout the years is, throughout the years they've shown that they tilt all the time. But throughout this year, they've shown a lot more discipline.
Yes.
And they've actually come back from a lot of games when they're down heavily early on. And this one, I wouldn't say it's too heavily. I mean, there's the Doom factor, of course, giving you that little extra goal, like a mini Alchemist, if you will, on the 9Pandas side. So I think they still feel relatively comfortable, but no, 9Pandas definitely off to a great start.
Yeah, they're still doing pretty well, right? You're scaling pretty nicely here on Nightfall. You're scaling well on Pure, of course, as well, since he did go first Itemida, so you kind of know what you have coming. This, like, double, triple BKB timing for B-Boom is still very strong in this game.
Spirit Vessel almost online for Save, as Kiyotaka has his Glip Glop, as he like to call it.
We'll see it soon. It will come as, once again, 9Pandas, like when they have their stuff available and they smoke on you, if you're not in a good position on BB team, you're definitely going to be in trouble. It's Kiyotaka.
Shackle shot with the focus fire set up by the Gleipnir. Pure does get up the Dragon Tail. Global Silence came out. Is it enough? Kiyotaka continued to chase, but Pure on the other side. False promise up from Toronto Tokyo. Now trying to turn it around as a big zip from GPK again, and Kiyotaka will pay the ultimate price. Solo is there as well. All for naught, though. 2 dead. And 9Pandas giving BB Team a little bit of life here.
The return tip from Pure. I kind of like Kiyotaka. He's kind of feeling himself. He wants to go in, get the kill, global, maybe secure it, as Miero now in trouble as well. GPK getting some more mana. Looks like he's gonna be like, this is a very high reward, or like high risk, high reward play from Kiyotaka. You don't need to make this play without your Night Stalker. They were just barely off with the global there. So, Team 2B, they're gonna take that.
Yeah, and we should mention Miero does have Blink Dagger on Doom, but has not found the Centaur Stomp yet. He is sticking with the armor for the time being, but this is one of those situations like, please just spawn in the jungle.
He's going to be looking for that. They're here and ready.
Getting off, trying to get out the Doom potentially, but the Crippling Fear is there first from Ramsey, so no need. Easy pickoff on the side of 9Pandas, and GPK and company on the run. Leifnir ends up spotting save. So again, the two supports of 2xB Team are down.
Honestly, they just can't play on BB Team. Like their supports, when this Batman flies at you, like what do? You're forced to run. You have to wait until Pure and Nightfall like get 1 or 2 BKB so that they can stand their ground and like beat this wall. As for they're diving your Dragon Knight.
Yeah, Ramsey not doing that much damage, but Kiyotaka's here. He does a lot. Focus fire as well. Do they have enough damage? They do. Indeed. Toronto, Tokyo keeps in along with GPK. They're kind of splitting their efforts here. Kiyotaka does drop Nightfall. They get a very valuable kill, and Solo is going to be the collateral as 9Pandas will be able to get out with the rest of their lineup. So a bit punished there. I mean, this DK is the position 3, and you're losing your mid laner and a support.
This is a big timing because they used all their spells, and it's going to turn into daytime. So Ramses is absolutely useless for basically 70 seconds. So if you're a B plus B team here, maybe you can look for something, an aggressive smoke. Do you want to? I guess the heroes aren't quite strong enough to like really force Roshan. You don't have enough items, like you don't have some Deso or Mjolnir finish, but looking for an aggressive play here would be great for you.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty surprised that Ramsey is not going a Blink Dagger. So they're just going to rely on the initiation coming out from the likes of Doom, because he's going Nullifier. He has BKB Midas and then Nullifier to come, which against the Storms does surprise me a bit, but perhaps because there's an Oracle in the background. The initiation from Miero, the Doom is there, and you can see the Oracle just waiting to get off the spell, but the Global Silence came out, and Toronto Tokyo has to run back in shame as one goes down for BB Team.
I mean, they're just punishing because the rest want to farm, but you're strong enough with your, with your other heroes to just kind of get it done. And I assume for Ramsey's skill item build, he's going to kind of use, his Doom, his Wind Ranger, and the Global Silence, or maybe just the angle of where you smoke to just get in a nice position. Nullifier is still great against Oracle. Also, it allows you to man up on Nightfall. Maybe he's not going to get Jingu. Also has the Vampire Fangs, more lifesteal, more night vision too. Pretty bonkers actually. He's gonna have more than map hack.
Yeah, that is true. As BKBs are starting to come online for both sides. That's Pure. Level 14 now in the DK. We can see the Maelstrom is on Nightfall at the moment. And I assume he's gonna go for BKB next. Yeah, he's just an Ogre Club away now that he's taken his Echo Saber apart, so it's on the way, and then he'll finish the Echo Saber again.
As okay, they have Miero here who's hunting. I'm just gonna TP out literally in front of his face. As I mean, Pure's just been spamming his dragon form off cooldown. He's actually closing in on the top of the network, and DK is honestly not like, you cannot underestimate this hero. This hero gets to click a lot just because you're just naturally so tanky. Eventually, it's hard for people to kill you or kind of go on you. As now, you need to play around Roche.
Leifnir, Kiyotaka, he's dead, bro.
Here comes GPK though.
GPK, so it ends up being another trade in the favor of 2xB Team.
Oh, that was a great bait here from Safe. He gets off his ult, his Solar Bind, the Vessel, even that alone, but then GPK just zipping over, like that's a big kill. 1k gold, a shit ton of experience as well for GPK. Much needed kill here for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And the tier 1 tower looks to be a freebie as well, but Solo making his presence known here. He's going to shut that down immediately with the Dragon Tail. Even Toronto Tokyo joining the party. Solo's tankier than he looks, apparently. And Pure has to pop the Dragon Form in frustration. Eventually will take out the 9Pandas. Pure getting really low, and the False Promise comes out with the baby. Ramsey's inside his Wukong command, trying to do as much as he can. It's a 2-for-1 though. Basically only the supports die.
Okay, honestly, like this is exactly what B-Square team are going to look to do as they zip back in, but GPK is now out of mana.
And so is Miero, has the Lotus Orb applied right now.
Okay. Like, they need to use Nightfall's ring to protect these supports. When Ramses pops his ult, you need to kind of ring, or ideally you don't have to ring to save them, but if they do, all that 9Pandas then need to do after is to like kind of kite it out, wait a couple seconds and go again. But Toronto Tokyo, he's got himself a Blink Dagger now, which is going to help a lot with his positioning.
Oh, wow. All right. Another huge zip, but there's the silence coming out, and GPK has to BKB and get the hell out of Dodge. Okay. 9Pandas. I mean, that's a pretty big ult used, and we'll see if 2B team can take advantage of that being down for the foreseeable future. I mean, there is Roche to think about now. We're at the 24-minute mark. Typically, when it turns to the nighttime, that's, I feel like, the most standard time to take it in that dire side.
Yeah, I think now they're starting to get some of these items and levels on heroes where you can take it more easily. So it's going to be on both teams' radar. But for 9Pandas, they still will not have this Night Stalker ult for 50 seconds. So, you know, it's still a time for Team Boom Boom to see, can we go aggressive? Can we place some ward somewhere? Can we catch them off? But for now, it's a 6k goldie for 9Pandas, but I feel like, you know,
it doesn't feel like it for some reason.
Yeah, no, they're holding on really well, like both to the map and also the fights.
Nullifier now online for Ramsey.
That's a big one.
As BB team get off their smoke. See if they're able to find anybody. They're actually really deep in Ramsey. Dragatil initiation into the electric vortex.
Great move.
Down goes the Smurf in more ways than one.
That's just a great move. Like, they know that it's down, it's daytime, it's time to go. If we find anyone, they're just dead. As also, and Terry's, bro, relax. This guy's got a BKB. I mean, when you play Doom with Philosopher's Stone, it's kind of like you're cheating. Like, you're just shitting out gold. It's just not okay. This is a post 4. Use the same network as the enemy mid.
Has he not found a centaur still? Is he not looking for one?
I mean, my Centaur is not that bad, but yeah, he definitely wants a Centaur Storm, right? You just get in there with your team.
Oh, that would have been a good time to go on with the Centaur Storm, but didn't have it. Like we said, BKB's pop galore now. Big shackle from the arrow into the shackle, and it looks like that is the death of GPK. The false promise right now on the Monkey King, but he is doomed up and will be brought down. So 2 cores dead for B-Boom.
I mean, 9Pandas just don't care that one of the heroes is dead. I feel like this is the most common thing I see lately, where some of the best teams get caught off guard, where they don't expect you to go. But this Doom with his BKB, he just gets in there. What a sick shackle from Kiyotaka as well. And they just killed both of them while their most important hero in Night Stalker was dead.
And into the Roche Pit, I assume they will go, and likely to be uncontested. So 9Pandas will be getting that first Aegis on their side.
Yeah,
as the BKB now there for Kiyotaka.
Just kind of looks like a free run, right? Like, what are they gonna do about this? And by the time that this is over, sure, you don't have Doom, but you have all the other spells to just continue to play aggressive on the map. It's also nighttime, so yeah, 9Pandas. The type of tempo they always play with the heroes and how they collapse on the map is just really top tier. As Mr. Kiyotaka joining the party.
Aegis just going, I guess so.
Hold.
He actually pops his BKB, getting focus fire onto Pure as well.
Oh.
The rest of B-Boom team are here, and that is the Aegis down, and along with that BKB, they're gonna get him again.
I think you did.
That is really unfortunate for 9Pandas. Wow.
Sometimes you just go in the gate and there's 18 heroes waiting for you.
So, that, I'm
surprised.
Their entire Roche advantage out the window 10 seconds later.
As here we see a beautiful play. Just unlucky. Should have maybe held all his stuff and then TP'd out later, but, you know, he thought he could 1v5 them here. I don't blame him.
Yeah, he's done it before.
Yeah,
in pubs at least.
Do it again, just not here.
And that's a pretty big mistake, and enough of these together.
People are looking for more.
Yep. Looks like they're going to take out Solo pretty easily. Still has that global to work with. And B-Boom team still trying to work into this lead. But without that Aegis now, they can maybe get some control of the map themselves.
Oh, suddenly, Pure has Aghanims, which is faster than the average, and with his item, this guy is starting to be very scary. Like, 9Pandas should not underestimate how well they scale on the Radiant side here. Like, this Dragon Knight, Monkey King, once they get to stand their ground and they make it harder for you to run in with your Doom and Night Stalker, you can definitely run into trouble in this game.
Nightfall, is he building a nullifier? Is that what he's... That's sick.
Unless he's doing up a rapier.
Radiance. Radiance Monkey King, sure. I'm up for it.
And even if you build Radiance like these Zoomer bros, they do some Radiance into split it for the nullifier, so you have the evasion.
And then Albert or something.
Yeah, so Miero has a scythe himself now. Yeah, I think, you know, Team 2XB, they're not too unhappy with the state of the game. As there's a DD rune on Kiyotaka. This one is
despite that
very
kill, though, the lead remains about the same for 9Pandas.
Yeah.
Still a healthy one, as Pure is level 18, by the way, with that Aghanim Scepter. So we're going to see the first Tormentor of the game taken out by 2B team. And
the Reign of
Toronto,
Destiny.
Tokyo, yeah, that is one of the better shards in the game for sure.
Yeah.
We just don't get to see Oracle that often. It's picked a few times here and there, but
We also don't get to see him cast very many spells this game.
that's true. Yeah.
Against Global, against Doom, against Batman, who now has a Blink Dagger. So it's going to be easier for Ramses to get in
So
there.
Ramsey's now online with what I envisioned
Yeah.
at the beginning of the game.
I mean, honestly, this is one of the biggest timings of a Night Stalker. You have Blink, you have BKB to like really get in there, no one can do much to you, and you have the item that allows you to stick onto people or allows them to not be saved with the nullifier. So, 9Pandas knocking on your bottom tier 3 tower, my friends on Boom Boom, and what are we gonna do about it?
Well, they're gonna fortify to start. And there's one TP back, but you can see this double damage onto Kiyotaka.
And that's just a Toronto Tokyo. That ain't gonna do anything.
This is a lot of damage applied to the tower, basically for free. They have the global silence still from Solo on the back. It's GPK trying to bait something out, but the tower will fall. And 9Pandas going to be relatively happy with this, as it is 16 seconds till daytime. Don't really want to fight during the day. I mean, you do have your ult, so if you have to, you will, but if it's like an extended fight, it just ends up being a disaster.
Yes, I would say they still did a pretty decent job on BB team here to not bring too many heroes back to the base, but 9Pandas, they got themselves 2 very aggressive wards in both the mid tier 2 and in the bottom lane that maybe they can use later. Could potentially scout a smoke here. Nope, Piero's just gonna pop his form. Oh, he's got the form of the illusion rune, so the map is gonna be put into a good position for them, but now they go for the smoke. 9Pandas should maybe sniff that something is coming their way.
Mira with a sheep stick, Lotus, SNK. He is very farmed right now. Top net worth in the game. And it is definitely showing, as Ramsey's in a pretty good spot to pop this smoke. Pure actually jumps in, he gets hacked, and he's gonna get doomed and brought down instantly.
Look at the call
Huge
as well.
reaction from 9Pandas. They're gonna go for save as well. He's gonna get saved though for the time being, no pun intended. Big balance strike onto
They're all
heroes, and 9Pandas, they're gonna lose their win ranger along with their silencer. And it looks like Solo will buy back at the very least, but another jump in from Ramsey with that crippling fury. He has that ult still activated. It's going to be daytime against fairly soon, and that turns into a double kill for Nightfall. Now this is extended fight.
Ramses has no beacon.
And Ramses, well, he's going to get
purged.
And they still have some chase. GPK is out of mana though, but Ramses, with the cover of the night, will find a distance with the balance strike does connect, and Nightfall and company able to take out the position 1.
Look at Solo. I don't know.
Pandas.
I don't know if they're gonna look for Solo, but he was stuck on the high ground without a TP for like 20 seconds. But
They don't care.
he's gonna walk it off as just this Wukong's command dealt so much damage. I'm pretty sure he just crippled down these heroes in the back on like Kiyotaka lost all his HP there. Ramsey's maybe going a little too deep as Toronto Tokyo just barely scraping in his ult there onto save to get him out of harm's way.
And that fight might have single-handedly brought B-Boom team back.
Also, this DK illusion, by the way, it just gets all the effects on the illusion to like slow them down in the backline here while Pure is dead. So even though he died, he's playing this goddamn illusion here in the background, scouting everyone for no goddamn reason.
Yeah.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So with that,
Dire's top tower.
BB team are able to take the tier 2 top, and ever so slowly getting back into this game.
Who's that, Jack?
Timmy
Who's
the
this?
Turtle looking on.
I was about to call you Jenkins. I was like, who's that, Jenkins?
All right, I'll try not to be offended by that. Thank you very much, Cinderin.
Okay. As Pure very happy that he got to murder people while being dead with his glorious Black Dragon illusion. Very well played by him.
Now Mjolnir online for Nightfall.
He's a big boy. Top of the net worth now.
I mean, we're 32 minutes in, so 9Pandas still have a lot of life left in them, but a lot of their lead has been kind of dissipated with that last fight. And we talked about the scaling issues with their lineup. Position 1 Night Stalker only lasts so long.
I mean, 2B team have done a very good job at, I would say now, with this position of the net worth and the map, I would rather be their draft at this point. This Monkey King and DK, they're scaling and just being able to hold their ground. Like, getting these items to stand your ground and make it harder for 9Pandas to run in, it will change the entire course of how this game is going to be played.
Pure continuing to keep these lanes pushed, and the next Roche we won't know about until about a minute from now. And likely will turn into a very important Roche off. Getting close to that 20 talent for Pure, as Kiyotaka is hunting, but won't find anybody initially.
Yeah, looks like he's gonna want a blink as well on the win range, because honestly for 9Pandas, it's all about the initiation. When they go in with this Night Stalker ult, they need to blink it with literally everyone, pop your global and hope that, you need to kill at least the Oracle, maybe do a core and keep the fight going. So for BB team, it's important for them to be able to stand their ground or maybe have buybacks and fight back during this timing.
The Lincoln Sphere online for GPK, so doesn't have to worry about the instant sheep, the doom to follow, unless this Axe comes out at some point for the doom. And he actually does have the mana burn, so that is literally just there for the Lincoln's break.
Yeah, he can trigger it. That's a 5-man smoke. Toronto Tokyo gets to blink out.
Not that blink, but he's going to get sheeped after the fact, and CP ends up false promising himself. He does to try to buy himself a little bit more time, or at least waste a bit on the side of 9Pandas.
Good cancel.
He's died like 10 times there.
Batman is hunting, but there is a BKB and TP available on GPK. He doesn't know yet who's coming, as they're bringing more. They have Doom coming to try and get the TP.
Yeah, but that's a big...
I mean, that's like a global TP. you ain't catching that, man.
I mean, what do you think of the build on GPK? It's very, very defensive, but it feels like it is needed. Do you think that hurts the damage output of his games? We're going to see the focus fire come out with that shackle. Talking to the BKB. Miero jumps in with the Sheep as well, and they rip right through Pure. And actually, Nightfall, he has to use his BKB, trying to jump away now. Looks like he will get out, but that's also a valuable timing on that BKB.
And just nice movement here from Kiyotaka. Goes down bottom, sets it up already. Miero comes by and just kind of cuts through this DK like it's honestly paper. And back to GPK's item build, I think he kind of needs these items to stay alive, not really get initiated on, because they need to prolong the fight. I'm pretty sure if they get to do that, they will be able to win fights against 9Pandas. As
Ramsey showing himself will blink before GPK catches up.
This man still has quick fingers, still a young lad.
Radiant are scanning.
He's gonna get your mana battery refilled from Mr. Save.
I think overwhelming blink is going to be not too far away for Ramses, and I mean, considering his build, what would you like to see after the fact to help him perhaps scale?
I mean, ideally you drop the gem later, you have someone else take it, so to free up that slot. And honestly, I believe that Moonshard is the highest DPS item on Night Stalker. Something else that could help you is a Silver Edge to get in position, like try to find them in the backline and get in there. But I do think that Moonshard is incredible. Whenever you have your ult up, you just get so much damage from that spell.
Well, you can see Roche being attended to right now by 9Pandas.
They're on a ward.
Are somewhat close, especially for GPK. They're going to de-ward once here. And the exiting of the pit, GPK. Right on the other side of the trees. PK form is popped. A lot of the illusions come out as well, confusing the crap out of 9Pandas. As Antares, he has to use his BKB, so a bit of a waste. Nice bait there from BB team.
They force the BKB and Ramsey's ult.
Big zip again. Okay, trying to go onto Ramses at half HP, trying to force these BKBs out. But Roche, we can see, is getting pretty low. And 9Pandas will eventually secure it for themselves. So that's Aegis and Cheese this time around.
Honestly, there was some very high-tier play from BBT to like force out all this stuff, but they still don't really get to contest Roaches. 9Pandas are just like, okay, sure, we're going to commit on the Roach and now just back off with the Aegis Cheese. I'm going to be happy with that.
But like we mentioned earlier, the lead has not really grown. So 9Pandas, I'm sure, will have wanted to get a lot more out of the map so far. There's still 2 outer towers.
Very nice win percent here on 9Pandas.
What is it?
69.
Okay. Should have known. Yep. See if 9Pandas can take advantage of that, or if Gaben is just wrong this time around. Because it feels like there's a lot of life in BB team for this game for one.
With the Aegis definitely putting themselves a good... I do like this move though from Team 2B. They're here with a good ward. They can instantly punish anyone if they do show as Antares. He
has an idea.
He's sniffing it with the Glimmer.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Very
want
smart.
to devour
Solo.
the creep. Come on, man.
I mean, if Solo has buyback, which he does not, maybe he wouldn't even care and he would just tank this. Because the old buyback global is definitely a thing for Silencer.
It's very nice discipline. Like, this is just a high-level play from both teams. That's Solo.
My Solo blocked the Force Staff, and they get the instant D ward.
And they're just holding their ward. Very nicely done as Pure.
This is against Aegis and Cheese, so Pure and company not really caring about this advantage that 9Pandas right now have.
Okay.
Talk on the other side of the map, but you can see some TPs coming out as the barracks are exposed in this bot lane, so
Quick pause.
2xB team do need to keep that in mind.
I mean, if B-Boom can stay aggressive, at least with just Pure on the map, where you get to Manta illusions around with the big black dragon, they shred through towers. Like, all their dot damage, it just goes there. So if he can stay aggressive, he can not only cut waves, but also start attacking some of these buildings. So very important for him and his team to stay aggressive on the map.
Now, if you're 9Pandas at this stage of the game, are you happy with the state? Like, am I putting too much emphasis on this window? Because we've seen a lot of games go really late, and I'm afraid about the position 1 Nightstalker. I want to believe.
No,
me.
they're pretty happy with the state that they're in. Like, as long as they're ahead, they're doing good, and I don't think Nightstalker necessarily falls off. It just has a lot to do with how you execute and the type of team fights you take. Like, your skill set always allows you to be very strong when you do have the ult available. So I wouldn't say they're necessarily on a timer, but whenever they have their spells, they want to keep pushing forward. Like, they want to slowly increase the net worth more and more. As Kiyotaka, my man is a madman. He lost the Aegis earlier, he don't care. He's legit 1v5 right now.
Yeah,
ready to
he really
backstab.
is, and he's going to be
Hello,
spotted.
Dave.
Shackle, actually going to
Nice
continue
global.
on. That's an easy pickup for him. He's all alone. The Doom onto GPK, though, as Kiyotaka finally pops the BKB. He's getting pursued now by Pure. And Teres, can he actually finish the job?
Here comes Batman.
Ramsey's focusing on the backline support. That's a dead Toronto Tokyo. Now continuing on here onto GPK, who's still doomed, and finally it runs out. And with cover of that Wukong's command, able to finally get the hell out as Pure has to BKB and run away in his pathetic melee form. We'll see if that's enough for 9Pandas to try to knock down some buildings.
Okay, still have nighttime for a little bit more. You also have a new focus fire available on Kiyotaka if you kind of want to throw it on the melee. Actually, you do have one buyback, but triple BKB used on both sides, and this definitely favors 9Pandas. They can still just hit, like, if
They don't have a wave, though. This is
it's coming.
a bit
There's
annoying.
little John, he's here.
Johnny the Creep has made his way over. I'm here to help, everyone.
Is that the butler?
Here is very important creep. And it looks like this fortification will come out, but it's not going to be enough to save BB Team's racks. So the melee will go down as the Dragon Tail does connect on to Miero. As Antares actually jumps in a little deep. It's off the Glimmer, though, as the Agno Scepter now online for GPK, who's trying to show this off, but the BKB from Antares is able to TP out. GPK's Lincoln's now popped. And Solo, if that's all they can get, this is not the greatest. But they'll take it.
Come back after you've had some practice.
Solo
See if they
will
can find more on the map.
give his life away as 9Pandas. They're just going to try to chill. Mr. Batman will have his ult in 30 seconds, so Ramsey's pretty happy if he just gets to walk it off. This guy doesn't know what back means. He's going to stay aggressive. Honestly, this guy, he's just a chat. I think there's a lot of players where when as he gets
Keep the Bold is not going to put up with your shit.
Oh, man. When they die once or twice or 3 times, they just change the way they play. This guy doesn't care. He's just sitting here on his own. He's like, if any of these clowns run into me, I'm just going to clap them.
We'll see if that's actually the case, though, as he is, oh, somebody is near.
Save.
He's actually going to blink in, and a focus fire. With the Agno Scepter going to work as well. Save is dead, but will Kiyotaka pay the ultimate price? He goes for the BKB TP.
With the high five, by the way, you need to call that out. He used it while tipping.
It was not reciprocated, though.
No, of course not. As Pure gonna do what DKs do, which is push waves.
Yeah,
Get
this
gold.
build is pretty annoying to deal with.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a time where people were buying Octarine as well, right?
Yeah, I'm sure BSJ is yelling at him to buy Octarine Core.
Yeah. But I think one thing that lacks of that is damage, and once you get the MKB, now he starts to hurt. As another Tormentor for the side of 2x square root B team.
Which will go to Mr. GPK, who gets the overload triple bounce.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So Team B-Boom team gonna be even stronger in the fight. Maybe get it onto your DK, get it bouncing around, as we have still not even all tier 4 tokens being picked up, or, you know, for our Radiant team here. 4,400 HP on the Timbersaw. It's disgusting. As Toronto Tokyo getting himself a ninja gear. They just want to stay safe.
I mean, Miero's really 4.5 KH.
This guy ain't dying.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
That's a tough kill.
His item build is very good.
Another nullifier here for 9Pandas.
Yeah, you are not safe. If they see you on 9Pandas with the Smurf Man and the Wind Ranger lady, you are dead. I don't know how you live.
Grouped up, but 9Pandas are the one that are fully smoked. They can find an opening.
And they're looking on mid.
The MKB is there for Pure, so his damage output is going to be increased pretty dramatically, considering he was hitting like a
baby.
Well, depending on the baby, they could be really strong, I guess.
You've got strong babies in NA or what?
I mean, we're thick. We're really thick over there.
I wonder what they feed them there.
This McDonald's at birth. GPK.
Okay, careful, my
He's
friend.
showing himself. I mean, this is a tough kill because of the Lincoln Sphere. But Kiyotaka continuing to push that bot lane, of course. That is always a thing you have to worry about.
I mean, you know that B-Boom are kind of around mid, so you just push a bottom, you kind of force them back, as now looks like Miro, he wants to TP back. How close is he to his beloved 25 talent? Yep, Wisdom Rune into it being at the ready. So second Chakram plus the Shivas being completed, so he can also go into the fight with the Blink Shivas as Kiyotaka once again. He's just baiting, bro. GBK, you can't catch this man.
Yeah,
and straight back to the wave.
We should mention that Kiyotaka has his 25 talent. The win run cannot be dispelled, and that's pretty big.
That's pretty good.
I mean, the Fortune's End has been used the entire game to counter that. And there is a nullifier on Nightfall as well, so effectively we'll do nothing against that spell anymore.
I mean, even with the MKB on Pure, Kiyotaka still takes reduced damage from the Axe, so Pure has to hit him a lot. And Terry's, he has overtaken Ramses in the net worth simply by, well, pressing Q, so he's doing a good job.
I mean, this is what I'm talking about. I feel like when we see Wind Ranger, I mean, Seth plays it supports, that doesn't really count, but in terms of core, it's like nobody is playing it like Kiyotaka. This guy just takes over games.
First of all, it's how he plays, but also how his team plays. Like, you need other people to follow you because you're not the tankiest hero. Like, you need people to go in with you, so they drafted very nicely as a double square root B team. Gonna take a 5-man twin gate into the Dire territory. They have some wards available, so they need vision during this Night Circle to just try and fight.
Wow.
Big man solo boy.
With a refresher orb. Okay, this is a very... I mean, if there wasn't the Force Staff there, this would be a Slacks build. Like, just brown boots refresher, it feels like.
This is disgusting.
My goodness.
I don't want to be Oracle in this game. I don't know how Toronto Tokyo is going to manage to have a good fight. Maybe he has to AFK in the fountain or have a buyback, but it's not going to be easy. As there's nighttime in Miro.
Yeah, now this guy is very hard.
Global number one.
Otis is there. Yep, first global. They don't.
Maybe he should give a damn.
They have the nullifier apply to him. Gets the Timber Chain, but it's not going to work. And down he goes despite healing, unkillable.
Oh, Antares
find a way, and Antares gets pulled back into the fray.
What a check.
Well, Ramsey showing us some of the Nightmare from Kiyotaka is there. They're able to decimate Nightfall in the time being, but the buyback coming out from Antares as well because he does have the Doom still available. But nice
good pull.
PK stun onto 2 with that Aghanim Scepter, and Solo left with no mana, but of course the focus is the Wind Ranger. Antares does get the Doom up, but the instant false promise and the heals from the Shard of the Oracle are there. So 9Pandas end up losing this fight. Few buybacks here and there, though.
Oh, that's a big blunder from 9Pandas, but Boom Boom Team just setting up properly, like having both these lane wards around and just being like, okay, we can commit on this Timber. So I think there's many other players and teams that wouldn't dare to go for that. No, there's 3 heroes dead without buyback.
Dire's top
Yeah, let's see how much they can get out of this. Of course, they don't know about the buyback situation completely, at least from the core perspective. 500 gold away for Kiyotaka, and definitely knocking at the door here. GPK. They don't have that much building damage, I guess, without Pure being in the DK.
They might just go for more.
Yeah, they could. Absolutely. Mid lane is available. You can see their base is getting pushed. The Ranger Axe was eventually taken, but that lane was effectively taken out a while ago. Pure in the DK form now, getting their second lane of racks, and now they have a good idea that there are no buybacks for 9Pandas, and all they can do is just watch their base get destroyed. Okay, of course, there is a tier 2 bot, so that's as far as they can go, unless they wanted to go for the throne.
It's a double racks for 2B team. Big for them, as Roche also, it's about to respawn. It's going to be on the Dire side as well. And Kiyotaka, he's not up for 25 seconds, and Roche is just going to die way quicker than that.
Yep, the Abyssal Blade now online, and the 25 talent for Nightfall. keep in mind, he was one of those cores that bought back, so
Yeah.
he will almost certainly take the Aegis. Although, I mean, GPK, does he currently have buyback? Let's see. He does.
Does indeed. Let's see. I'm pretty sure that Nightfall could just drop his boots and pick it up, but let's see how they want to play. If he just feels like, okay,
Ramses and company, they want to contest, but
Might be too late, though.
Too late. Aegis, cheese, refresher shard. I say it's too late, but they still want to fight apparently.
Lincolns.
Shackle shot blocked by the Lincolns. BB team on the run, trying to reset.
good silence.
Trying to GPK, has to use his BKB.
Oh, they tried to roll the BKB.
Acid pops the cheese, so he can definitely get away. But this is an even bigger kill if they can get Nightfall. But the false promise comes out. The Wukong's command to follow, and the Boundless strike with the harpoon used onto the Night Stalker. GPK's barely on the outskirts, will be able to live throughout this engagement. They kill GPK, who buys back instantly. And Solo, the only
He got
casualty
recalled
for 9Pandas. See the rest trying to TP out. Big zip again from GPK. Kiyotaka just out of vision.
Holy.
All right, this is all about buybacks now, especially with GPK
The fact
using his right there.
that Ramses got out like that, like they actually got a buyback out of Boom Boom team there as Kiyotaka goes on pure.
Yeah, the Nullifier not going to do too much, and the Focus Fire just absolutely
he's
destroying
okay.
here, but he has some backup now in the form of GPK, who is out of mana, but they're going to get the Vortex on the Kiyotaka, completely surrounded, no buyback for him.
He has no
Despite
buyback.
being down this entire game,
Oh,
BB
close.
team are very close to actually winning this game, but there are buybacks now. I guess the bounty runes were just picked up from Ramses.
Well, that's a game-winning bounty rune because my bro just died without buyback. Now both of them have it available, so 9Pandas get
Their
to
base.
live in their
Airport
race.
tower.
Shannon, it's dying.
Toronto, Tokyo,
Do something.
do your best to hold. Oracle very strong at defending against creeps here.
Pulled him in the fountain.
Probably the Courier will have more luck in defending than Toronto, Tokyo. The GPK is there with the shield rune.
B-square team just kind of bringing it back. And this 25 talent on Nightfall now is gonna be a real big pain to play into if you're 9Pandas. Like, anyone gets doomed or Ramses goes into like trying to commit on them, you just drop the ring. It's so big, it will cover the entire team fight for the whole time.
Yeah.
And Pure is gonna have an AC as well, so some humongous items coming out for our double square root B team.
And Save has a sheep stick now. And everybody's super farm. 50 minutes in the game. I mean, I feel like these Eastern European games always end up being epic for some reason. They're always so good.
It's because they're crazy high skill, and there's a lot of like also solo plays going on most of the time that most of the time lean into good plays for Kiyotaka as they have for 47 minutes, but then boom boom, they just catch him off guard once and it turns into a big deal.
Now the tier 2 tower will be taken out. Here on the outskirts, ready to jump in.
Ready to send in the
Tormentor, of
There's
course.
the Tormy.
Very important.
Mr. Torm.
I mean,
Who even doesn't have a shard?
It's more important if you were to go for to deny potentially from 9Pandas side, although I'm not even sure how impactful they are.
I think they literally don't care.
I just like to create this narrative. You know?
It's very important,
Very
Shannon.
important.
As
I mean,
Ramses,
they got the one on Storm, and that one's probably the best on their team. So
I guess Recall is pretty good and Reign of Destiny, but I guess they got those before. That's 9Pandas. That is a big ball smoke, 5-man. Ramses could sell his Midas and buy a very big item, which I feel like you might just want to do. He's also got the minus 50-second cooldown on his ult, which honestly with the Spell Prism, he nearly has full uptime. Well, not quite, but close.
yeah, close.
Close, yeah. NMF.
GPK is the one holding the refresher shard, by the way. Wow, that's a really late SNK. 51 minutes in.
I mean, just trying to stay alive through the burst of 9Pandas, so I kind of get behind it. I don't mind, as also he's back in base. He's going to be able to be recalled, of course, by the old man save on his little Gandalf horse.
Should mention Antares, I'm not sure how long he's had it, but he has the Aghanim Scepter, so AoE Doom is online. Sheep onto Pure.
Solo
That's the
refresher
first
to
move of
Kiyotaka.
Hunt. Yeah, he used the refresher. Kiyotaka really
Good
deep
block.
up for the Focus Fire, and now all the pressure is applied to this Kondo.
That's a big Wukong.
But Kiyotaka gets brought back in. He's extremely low. Can they take him out? They do. Buyback still intact, of course. They took out Ramses as well. They break down the tree. AoE Doom from Antares. Gonna pop the BKB as well. Double buyback from 9Pandas now. And remember, this false promise on the Monkey King, he will not have buyback, I believe. Maybe he he does. I might be making that up.
He's got dangerous.
Lost, but they have some damage from afar.
Triple
You're
buyback.
pounding into him. Doom is dead. And GPK completely out of mana. They get an instant cleansing onto the Monkey King, but Ramsey is the one taking the damage, trying to get away with that BKB, but the control is there, and the damage from Kiyotaka, too much to handle. Nightfall is dead with no buyback. And now Pure completely surrounded by members of 9Pandas. He will drop to the deck as well. His buyback remains. And this is such a back and forth affair between these two teams.
Big double buyback from 9Pandas. Very much, you know, as we can see Nightfall, he's pinging out. Yeah, these two nerds on Wind Ranger and Nightstalker had to buy back for this fight, but my god, all the damage, the shackles coming out, the long fight, even Pure. Actually, the one dealing the most damage in that fight with just his DK form and Mantas and getting to hit as, yeah, we can see that Boom Boom team, they just have to hide in their base and kind of wait it out because Nightfall, he ain't got the buyback.
I will say this though, 9Pandas, I mean, they are very farmed. Their building damage is not like the craziest. So like focus fires one building at a time. The cooldown is relatively long. As Kiyotaka, he's going to be found out by GPK.
No way.
Doubt they have the damage here. Oh, what? I say that, but this short is absurd from GPK. How in the hell? He got the 25 talent as well on top. And that is essentially a dieback for Kiyotaka.
That is that's an illegal play. He was not allowed to do that.
Oh my god.
Oh, as B-Boom, it's time to go down mid, bros. As okay, he's here.
This damage is absurd.
Okay, hold. Overload is used.
That is insane. This is through a global silence. I mean, that's just pops the BKB there, but holy jeez.
The Witchblade, Solar Bind, and him just hitting with the overload as now Kiyotaka is down for 90. If you're 9Pandas,
they know this. They know this.
Yeah, and you have to push out these waves right now. You have to make time in this game because they can already position now on Boom Boom because they can recall
random DK illusions just flying all over the map. Must be the most annoying thing to deal with. But yeah, they have 70 seconds. Monkey King is up in 10, and they have recall available.
Okay, they will only have it in 20, actually. Yeah, saves is on cooldown. It's quite important here to note. As, never mind. I thought it was going to be a long zip. He's debating me.
Yep, Miro showing himself.
Miro.
A full minute to work with.
Miro, bro.
Or BB team. Electric Vortex to start. But Miro, super duper tanky, as we've discussed. Takes at least 3 to 4 members of BB team to take him out.
What, they get a fight out of this on 9Pandas? Damn, I thought the whole game was blown open when he died, but 35 seconds. And they're gonna have a glyph for this too.
Yeah, they will.
As Pure is looking and cooking.
They are trying to slow this down as much as possible, but here comes the Nightfall ult. Forcing everyone back. The fortification's there. 20 seconds on Kiyotaka. This tower, at the very least, is dead.
It's got to be mega.
Going to the back line.
10 seconds.
Get more, yeah. I can't believe they actually defended. Even though they didn't do anything.
Damn, they get to live. Well, my bro Kiyotaka, damn, he gets to live another day, actually.
I mean, that would have felt so bad for him to lose that way.
Alright, so we have some Aeon that's being queued up, as Solo already has one. Ramses, I really think I guess he really needs to hold the gem to stay on top of the supports because of the Glimmer Caves, but I really think they need to help him. He needs another item to deal more damage and like kite in and out of the fight.
Dire are scanning.
Roche is up in 1 minute and 12 seconds. Arcane Rune on GPK. Refresher on Nightfall, so double Wukong's available, of course, with the BK. I mean, he has a lot of active items as well, actually.
I mean, if GPK can hold his buyback, that's also really big. Like, buyback for the Radiant team is so big with the recall that they have, because for 9Pandas, 2 of their major cores and the Silencer, they don't even have buyback, even if they have the money for it.
Yeah.
As they're smoking up, they know the next fight can just break the entire game open. Like, you might just GG on the next fight.
Well, we can see on the minimap that they will not be running into anybody initially.
And not towards Roshan either, for now.
Are you surprised that Mira did not go for...
Boom?
Yeah, boom. Agam Scepter.
I mean, maybe he could have gone it instead of Axe, but I don't blame him not buying it now.
I said Ags. I mean, instead of what?
Instead of Heart.
Okay.
Sorry, maybe I misspoke. Like, maybe he could have bought it instead of that, but either way, he's tanky enough that at this point, if he buys it, I don't think it really does anything.
Okay.
So I'm okay with him buying more aggressive stuff, overwhelming Bling or Hex. 6 seconds, will they stay in the pit?
Well, save, that's your job.
Save the patient boy. Don't, yep, he got it.
Oh my god! Right on cue! Right on cue! Roche is up, everybody.
Oh, that's a
we have the
global.
first global silence coming out. Not really to much effect, though.
Jesus, look at these illusions.
Solo's
Kill him.
getting run down by illusions. GPK is there. He pops the Eon Disc. There's the refresher from Solo.
Oh, they didn't get the Doom off.
Onto 2. Refresher from Nightfall as well. Apparently it's a shard in addition. He went through the Boundless Strike. 2 dead for 9Pandas. Both of which do have buyback, and I'm sure that BB team will be scouting out Roche.
You think?
Okay.
Turn around, turn around. Oh, he did it.
He's going to solo it now.
Oh, okay.
Easy. Both supports are going to take it themselves. They're very strong. Okay, there's the Monkey King.
He can still recall GPK, as I love these late game refreshers. Like, for the longest time, I think there were only a few players who would build it, but having these late game cores with double BKB, double Boundless Strike, double Meta, double Wukong String, whatever it may be, refresher is just such a sick and high skill late game item.
GPK, we can see, like you said earlier, does have buyback, so obviously he's not even that side of the map, but will not be taking the Aegis. It will be Nightfall, who does not currently have buyback, but only 800 away, so he'll probably get that in the near future. And GPK was pushing out bot lane, but you can see he didn't really push it that far, so that's still a concern for them.
Instant Fortune's End. I don't know if I've ever seen that, actually. Well, we're about to see it.
A bit weird.
As we're smoking into the Dire base.
Yep, Kiyotaka there to defend. Nightfall is hitting the range right. Focus fire from Kiyotaka. That's going to force the buyback on Timbersaw. Nightfall nullified for now. The big zipper from GPK pops his BKB as well. Gets the electric vortex on to do with the Boundless Strike the bow. And the Wukong's command.
Ramses is dead.
Ramses is dead with no buyback. This is going to be mega creeps for BB team. Can they get more? I'm sure they're going to try to get more. They have the Aegis, they have the cheese, actually on the Oracle of all heroes, knowing that they have the buybacks on basically everybody else right now.
I mean, if they timed it properly, they know Ramses does not have buyback for like another 40 seconds. And they still have, they don't have Refresher, but they still have the Aegis, and Pure can just whack away with the Dragons. What are they going to do about it?
Dragons are doing a lot of damage, and there is Johnson with the AoE Doom, but he gets controlled right off the back. Electric Vortex again from GPK. The Doom is dead, instantly buys back. The Aegis is gone now, though. For B-Boom is Miero. He's completely isolated from the rest of his team, bashed up, abyssal bladed, and eventually will be brought down despite being ridiculously tanky.
GPK is buyback.
Now 5v3. GPK apparently tied and bought back, like you said. And Darius is going to show himself with that Glimmer Cape coming out with the BKB. Gets instantly sheathed and nullified. And there's the jump again from GPK. The fight here is going to be dodged. Nicely done as the building slowly crumbling here for 9Pandas. Pure jumps in, not able to get a connection, but now the Ancient is fully exposed.
There's a global.
Silence comes out. There's the Harpoon again, this time onto Kiyotaka. He's completely grabbed, trying to get the focus fire onto Pure. He's going to die though. Buys back instantly. Only 2 left for 9Pandas. GG. But